Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, October 19, 2021, Tuesday. And this time is 3:40 early morning, 3:40 a.m. Quality and safety as usual, contracts as usual. Title is Civil Field Engineering, Life Engineers, Quality, AnnexSL, Red plus Silver, fitting books, SHE and designs. Then we have construction methods, contracts, organizations, communication coordination, and why quality is a big question mark. I have shown you certifications which are important, but for what? For this. For this. If you can't get this, there is no meaning of these certificates. There's no meaning of these certificates if you can't get this. That's the point of importance. I close this now. And as usual, I try to show you every day, remind you every day about this issue, quality, safety, economics, and quality required everywhere. You can read. So we are talking quality. I've shown you this file without speaking because you have to read yourself. Now I'm going to talk about quality system for EPC contracting. EPC contracting, as we discussed yesterday, really understand that clearly. We call it EPC, which means a complete contract. Complete contract, video and signals are down. A complete contract where designs, procurement, and construction are done by contractor. An employer has to pay for everything. That is EPC: engineering, procurement, construction, contract. And contracting company or organization that takes such contract is called EPC contractor. EPC means second party on EPC, and first party is called owners or promoter. In contract language it's called company. On such projects where oil is explored or oil is processed, oil means oil projects, such oil projects are processed by certain operators. There are so many operators. Examples of can say ADNOC, QP. QP stands for Qatar Petroleum. ADNOC stands for Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation. And likewise, there are so many around. We have many in our country, and every country has got such organizations like Baruj. So many are there. I am just referring names for information, nothing to do with them. Such companies who explore and sell and distribute or process and refine such crude oil, such fossil fuels, you can say. We call them fossil fuels, hydrocarbons based. These are extracted from beneath sea or wherever certain reservoir is detected or available. Such storage of oil from fossils for many centuries and million years, these are detected and extracted from below surface. That can be below sea surface or wherever it is possible. Generally, below sea surface, you can say below underseas, you can get out this crude oil. And this crude oil is further taken down to onshore for purpose of refining and separating byproducts, which are further used by another sub-process to other gases. So many gases are called byproducts. These may be, you can say, propane, which is used in cooking, propane, ethane, methane, whatever is, butane. So many gases are produced, and these are processed further for industrial products like ethylene, which is plastics, and many more products. This is behind that success, though it's against environment, but it has been ongoing. Now, I'm not here to explain technicalities, but process of construction, process of designs, process of construction, process of negotiation of bids, and operation of contracts. and discuss about contracts. These are very important issues for everyone because we get something without being aware of what we are doing. That is a concernable issue for everyone, and particularly those professionals who are in this work, who are engaged in this work in whatever capacity, maybe with employer or company or with contracting organization or third party, or you can say out freelancing worker, whoever one being. Everybody should know about it. Just like we know about national laws wherever we live, to some extent we should know. For example, we know in every country there are certain kinds of ruling system. We have to know as engineers, as professionals, we have to know about how does it operate. How does it operate? How does mean? How does it operate means here it is system. How does this contracting system operate? And this contracting system is high profile. It's not ordinary contract. It's not contract for 1 month or 1 day or 1 week. It is contract for years to come, and that is implementation contract or construction contract or design contract. But its product would move for decades, many decades. So power of that product must be clearly understood. We are not going to deliver just some eatables or consumables. We are going to deliver something, or we are going to promote industry of economy. And that means continuation of operation of that delivered project. 2 points must be clear. When I use term project, this means something temporary, something, I mean to say, not temporary material but temporary destination. Project is always temporary because it has two limits. One limit is its initiation, another limit is its completion. These two limits have certain gap, can be years together, and once it is commissioned finally. Commission means that project which is constructed, which was planned, has traveled its journey of production, journey of construction, from its initiation to its commencement of formal operations, formal products manufacturing, or its formal use. These two dates cover duration of project. Once it is completely over, it cannot be called a project but a working unit, an operation unit, an industrial unit, and whatever else you can say, institutional building, residential building, school building, a hospital building, or nuclear reactor, or power plant, or dam, whatever it is, it comes to its demanded stage or planned stage. We cannot call it project at that time because project team has already completed it and delivered it to public through promoter. This point we have to clearly understand in contract terminology. That day when contract is finalized, it is completely discharged, including unknown warranties or known warranties. Liability of contractor is released except certain bindings, and we can say this project has started working. This means this operational unit has started working. We cannot say project 10, we can say permanent. Permanent, it is a permanent unit, which permanent because it is much more, it's going to be used for much more time than it was in time it was used for its construction, its birth. This is basics of contracting. We are talking of quality in contracts. We are talking of quality system in contracts, and that is, we have already discussed red book, which was contract of construction or construction contract, RCC buildings. This was considered to be existing between employer as party 1 and contractor as party 2, wherein engineers who are off contract but independent party, and also third party independent one. Likewise, we had many provisions in that. Same provisions do exist in EPC. We are going to discuss structure of EPC contracting from quality system viewpoint, which we call International Standards Organization system 1000 system 9001, and its structured hierarchy of controls, and that is, you can say, AnnexSL. This is annexed to system. This AnnexSL is significantly important from viewpoint of public control, personal control, work control, management, and organization control. It's not very easy for everyone even to understand analytical structure. Why do we go for this approach? That point can be questioned by everyone, because this structure is, you can say, a minimum requirement for being certified by qualifying agencies in compliance to guidelines published by, you can say, ISO 9000 agency department or body, which is international agreement, and that is quality system. Here we are going to discuss something we have already discussed, we know, but we have to refresh, because knowledge must be continuously brainstormed. That's what is kind of brainstorming we are going to do. The structure of clauses remains same, 10 clauses or 10 articles, you can say, if not clauses. You start from scope and move down starting from scope and move down to various, you can say, references, leadership, etc., planning, etc., and that all 10 clauses, I don't want to name them. These are going to work a lot for clarifying our understanding. Maybe we have many questions, we have many problems and ambiguities in our understanding. It is you can say systems input, systems building in. What we want to see is not book or it's not text that we are interested in, but we are interested in understanding concept of this structure AnnexSL format. This format is not Bible or Gita. It's not that we have to, but we have to understand if we can cover, if we can use this system for purpose of quality levels. That if it works, I think to that level, it can be then given status of successful system, or else like others it may not be that much valuable, but because it's a part of world now, it's being practiced and it's moving forward, and it's not simply that we be satisfied that it's working fast or working satisfactory. We have to make sure that this successfully works. This works in a way success moves in. We should get its benefit in our engineering business, engineering activities. But if we don't get that, purpose is to say that whatever product one organization produces, whatever services produces, it delivers, that must be quality based. And if product is not achieved quality based, there is no meaning of product. I know this much. I also know that this system does not guarantee quality of product. It guarantees only procedure. They are following this procedure. This means to this extent I don't accept this proposal. Because if I don't get quality of product, what is meaning of being behind the system? If system is fragile, if system is weak, it is just supported by certifications. Well, I think in current time that is not trustworthy if I don't get quality product. That's my professional understanding. If I cannot guarantee my product and I have certification, then I am befooling whole world. I cannot move forward. I cannot improve this world just in name of some certification. Certification means it must work. If you comply by provisions of certification, if you comply by the systems of AnnexSL, then of course we must get quality product, and if we do not get those, I think we don't do anything. I always stress on engineering community and others that we have to be very serious to an extent. Quality destination is concerned. I'm not concerned with any product. I won't be happy with any product if that product is baseless and has no quality. That is scrap, I can say. Scrap, and it's just befooling itself. This organization befools itself. It befools whole world. Every organization has some policy, has some means relevance to which field it works in. Okay, that's fine. Every organization, either a promoter or it is a contractor or it is a designer or else, that is different. We are going to confer on in this small talk about construction and designs and construction. Here we are talking of EPC, which is which is silver book. If we relate to FEDEC, that is an organization at international level which generally, specifically deals contracting forms or standards of contract conditions, general conditions and specific conditions or particular conditions, and these conditions are used by various agencies around the world for purpose of designing and finalizing contract conditions. Maybe people say, why are you using this term designing? Designing I am using because design is very significant. It's not structural design. It's not artistic design. It's not something that we should be pleased with just at looking it. No, it's not that one. Here design means it is a conceptual design. It says we had some designs in our mind and we could use those designing power to use formation of contract to suit our requirement, to suit work requirement and suit all other necessary requirements. We call it management system, we call it organization system, and we call it whatever. Just tell that this system gives a uniform approach, not heterogeneity. It's kind of system that is based on homogeneity of text and homogeneity of giving masses or taking masses. EPC is very long process. In a sense, its operations are very long, and it is almost same as Red Book we referred to, but Red Book is concise because it is related to construction only, and when it relates to construction only, it has nothing to do with designing world. But EPC has to deal with designs first, then construction. So it's entirely, here you can say, an amalgamation of engineer and you can say supervising engineer and design engineer, both are merged together. A design engineer and an execution engineer primarily are merged. Before designs also, there was one engineer who gives principal thoughts, who publishes, provides certain thoughts, you can say, on which whole project depends, which we name in our world FEED, front end engineering design. That document is also a kind of design, but policy design, engineering politics, you can say, engineering politic design, which gives policy of designing power. We have to specify particularities, this formula, this process, this theory, or whatever else is required on designing activity. We have to follow these supports. We have to extract whenever required these conditions of technical world or engineering world. We have to use them for this project and not to waste time in beating about bushes. That is, we can say, leader of design it is. Design leadership, setting out policy of design, and while doing design consideration, priorities must be extended to those principles or those feed contents and that is very significant, because where there is option we have to decide, and in case where there is no option, then we have to use whatever is available as backup. So that is what AnnexSL varies from construction one, RAD 1, and we have to move taking responsibilities for all activities. Means there's no major difference between two, except that here employer is powerful and also contractor is higher than construction contractor, responsible, liable, obligation wise, strength wise, work wise, and whatever else you can say, thinking wise. Because if my thinking is not professional, I do not think of everything required, for example current time and future time. Not interested in those, then I cannot be called part of construction, part of projects. EPC is that special power which has to be clearly understood first. EPC means total responsibility, not just construction responsibility or just design responsibility. EPC means engineering. Then procurement. Procurement doesn't mean workforce. Procurement means engineers as well, who are interested to work. And then we have many more issues that we will discuss. It was first required that definition of EPC must be clear to everyone. I'm not going to refer to the book. I start. It is clearly indicative that you are responsible for this. You have to use whatever material, whatever technology, but according to requirements definition, we will check everything, how to do it, how not to do it, and if we can say do it, how to do it rapidly, efficiently, so that quality is respected and also safety is respected. Here promoting company is very powerful because it's industrial based project or maybe only building project. Principles are same. Yes, generally it is practice that we won't change conditions on general level, but we can modify them. We can insert something from this AnnexSL particularly meant for our own organization. We can take out something from that and let whatever remains there remain there for further expenses if we have to depend upon this kind of work, and that's not bad as well. We are going to discuss about this in this, and which is a very important point. I had my duty to explain to you before we move forward. So we can say here, yes, AnnexSL is very high level management system language or structure, has produced common platform for everyone. This EPC contract facilities, buildings, construction can be easily defined within AnnexSL format, and we have to define that our way, experience wise, or what do you think about contracts. I'm not going to see contract conditions for that, to just understand, essence of what we are going to do. In this case, intentionally, both promoting company and EPC contractors systems have been tried to be included on AnnexSL format only for purpose of clarity, to understand real working on such projects. Then practically both promoting companies and EPC contractor adopt their respective systems separately. Provides many commonalities in designing system, implementing system, monitoring it, evaluating it, evolution of itself and improvement by trying to eliminate conflicts that existed within ISO 9000. Before one, that was 2008. On various stages related EPC tracking, facilities, and building construction. Building construction can be covered within all management systems, all organization systems shall have single high unit, high level, identical identical core text with common terms and definitions which can be defined within AnnexSL. But keep in mind that we have to design this form. Nobody shall give you anything on this. So we have to know that much. By daily using that product, if you have dynamic activities, we don't have time for even learning these formats. But when we want to remain in business, we have to take care of this. Maybe there's some benefit, maybe there's no benefit. But engineering doesn't see benefits in the beginning itself. High level structure cannot be changed, we have to know that. It must be intact as it is. Keep it blank if you can't do anything. So nothing in this structure cannot be changed, anything cannot be changed, but definition, but discipline, specific subclauses can be both added or changed. As such, additions may be made where and we start with scope, that's clause number 1. I worked on I would repeat that because it's important for everybody. Just for reference, I would try to import you first of all certain kind of introduction on some related to some project. That's important part here. Maybe if I get that file, I open it. Maybe I have that one. Quality certificate, construction, Confucius. I think I have some problem there. I can't have this here. Well, no issue. We should have somewhere. Let me see if I can find that one. That file is. This will show to you what we have to do. Open. Notice of files. Some files are files here. Same. Maybe I won't have that one here. I have FIDIC one. Let me go to wasting time here, no use. Let me go to where? Let me go to sometimes I feel pity on this. I forget. It is stores, carrier photos. I got it, carrier photos. So let me show you which is better one for you. Which is better one for you. Let me check it. Let's see. Let's start from very small project first. Let us see. I start from this project. I'll take a print out of this for you people, so that you can see this at least. I think you can see now. I close this one now. Okay. I close this one. You can see this project. It's for you now here. Oh, this is here. You can say. I just give you a compare. This is a small project. You can see. This is not plant itself, but it's a part of plant. I'm saying it's a part of plant. Its name is Record Center. Record Center. And it's record center of an existing plant. Existing plant it is. Whose part it is? It's though not within that operational area, because it's a kind of parallel record keeper. A kind of parallel record keeper or standby record keeper. And this is not one here. There's another one also at remote location. You can say it's a kind of parallel arrangement that plant operator wants. And this building, this complex, small complex, you can see these lines. Likewise this, it is for that purpose. Very small, you can say this is main building, or we can say this is record building. It's not very big, 2-storied, a little more, 2.5, but it is having specific equipment, specific arrangements to store all soft records. It is surrounded by supporting systems, buildings, like if you enter here, you'll get one guard here, guard room. Enter here, you get guard room here. Then you have some service buildings here. You can say these are service buildings here. Service to be supplied to this building, that is like electrical, kind of electrical provisions or mechanical provisions. And this is some water tank. You can see these tanks are available. There are some other facilities here all facilities, and there are no major other landscape here, landscape there, and this is a compound wall or boundary wall, you can call it, and there are other buildings here as well as here. Now, what's my purpose? Just to let you know theme behind this. It's just an indicative building, but it is important one. And what to do is this: we have to give, we have to construct it through directly or through EPC, whatever way. I'm just trying to give you examples what we mean by contracts. Now, if you go to another one, that is you can say, let me show you this. You can say this. You can say print. Let me show you here another one. That's also very significant from contract viewpoint. And you can say that is should come here. Why it is coming? It's come like that now. So we got this. Here is another one, you can see this. You can see what it's showing is. It's showing some plant, facility ethylene plant. All this you can see. You can see this is how many lights are seen nighttime, illuminations, hundreds of illuminations, and you can see a congestion of structures in that. Viewing at this view, just looking at this view, you may not be able to identify which one stack is what. You can see these structural stacks like this multitude stacks, and you can see all this and see height here. All buildings of various, say 2-3 stories here, and you can say like this, this is one here, main entry, main area, processing area, and others. And if you go further, you'll see various, you can see various other structural details, like it is cracking furnace. You can see complication of structure here. What sort of structure is this? What sort of structure is that? Cracking furnace. You can see this whole structural arrangements and various equipment within that. It's not easy. It's not easy. You can imagine volume of designs, volume of drawings, volume of specifications, and all like that in this case. Then you can say it's cracking furnace. These are all processing units. Then you go to this, you can say, you see complications here. And if, for example, this pipe and this pipe will be the same. Likewise, then you go to its actual plant, which we showed to you yesterday also. This is C. This starts here, you can say it starts here, and it extends to this area, and also this is main area here. This is main area here. We can say processing area. Other one is supporting areas. For example, this is supporting area. This is all supporting area. Likewise, we can say this is intake, this is intake, this is seawater basin. This is from Google, it's not from site, from Google. This is important in that, and this is also very supportive. And this you can say is administration function here. So administration function on this site and outfall here, and this is these two, and this is storage, and actually this is blast area. When we go further and see, this is admin, separate building, and here this is admin, this is warehousing, and these are certain facilities. We go there further. Processes we say there. You can see these buildings. You can see these buildings. And same, you can see these. You may see buildings like this, like this, like this. You may say further than substation here. These are oppressive here. You may not be able to identify everything here, but it looks very complicated, and it is. It is complicated. We can see roads here, internal roads. We can see overheads here, over road crossing. When such complications rise, you can see a flare here. This is a flare here. Exol, you can say this final disposal of gases by burning. This is another one, though it's administration area, but landscape here. Hard one and soft one. And this is pipe racks, you can see here. All these are pipe racks, you can see here. It's going here, also it's going here, you can see how it's moving out up to flare, pipe racks. Process and repetition of that. Seawater basin is different one here, little expanded one, blown up. You can see these pipes coming in from sea below this road. So you can see crossing here, and this coming from sea here, from listen, and these pipes enter here, and this kind of reservoir, open reservoir, where water is stored and then circulated to the whole plant for cooling purpose. Requirements are met. That's what we say. Then we have electric stations and roads. For example, this is the main electric station here, and of course roads. This is electric station. This is another one, and that is tanks, LNG, liquefied natural gas tanks. We can say 1, 2, 3, and one is 4. This reference is Qatar gas. Project Raslafan Qatar. This was downloaded on this information in 2009. I think 2006. Huh? Okay. Well, whatever it is, doesn't matter. These tanks here, big one, 50 meters high, about 80 meters diameter, cryogenic tank containment for LNG, and then containers, RCC, PSC containers or containment. That is what here it is. So record center I already shown to you, and this is another one. This is kind of firing range, shooting range. Very long it is. This way 300 meters, 30 meters, and this is one building here. There is maybe other supporting structures. Go to squadron officers quarters, normal quarters, but for army use. That is that one, squadron officers quarters. We can say here it is army training camp somewhere, that is on Dukha. Sports area also there, same training camp. And this is different one. You can see a city like surroundings, and here is one building. This is press complex, means this is Dar Al Thawra press complex, and there are so many other buildings around. This building which I am trying to show, it was under construction in 1980, 81, 82, and my purpose was to let you know about how this happens, why we are talking this, what is the reason behind that. We are talking EPC, why? We can see this very well. Imagine, you are given a work, you are an engineer, you are given this work. You are asked to take care of this unknown, because it doesn't exist there. Remove all this. Remove all this. You see desert by removing all this, and then put it there on that desert. All this was desert. Now all this is this. You can see difference. It was desert in glimpse before. Now it is this picture glimpse now. Can you see difference? Maybe some can see, some cannot see. But this is what is engineering. This picture. What is this called? This is called development. This is called work. This is what we are interested in, this development happens everywhere, all over the world. And without this development, nothing can move, to be clear. Nothing can move. Now, how do we want to do this development? What is the purpose of this? Why do you want to do this? Why in this form only? Why in some other form? That is a series of very many questions which first we have to answer ourselves. Because we are discussing something reasonable. We are discussing some activities. We are discussing hundreds of activities. We are discussing many hundreds of activities when we talk of contracts. We talk of whatever. We have to think of that. That is very, very significant. And that's what we are talking about. We're talking about EPC. It's no child game. It's not individual game. It's a combination and totality of many credits and many daffodils as well. So my purpose is just to examine myself, what I am, and just allow you to examine yourself what you are. Are we able, can everybody be able to grasp this requirement? That is main point. We have to study. We have to study many information from practical feedback. Practical feedback is very significant. It's not what people think it is. It is project and it's based on, of course, funding, but how it is to be analyzed, to be understood, that's more significant. We are talking of contracting, so what does distinct result to finish roof, even if others are forgotten? We have to first of all generate what we are going to do. It doesn't happen, you can say, in regular routine. It doesn't happen in regular routine because in regular life, concentration and thinking properties are brought to very small level. When I said it was desert, and now I say it's not desert. What shall happen to us? It was a desert. Think of your change it. How? Process is change. Change from existing raw stage. Change from existing raw stage. In there. Is it natural that we just go and start using it? It also becomes part of parts of studies. This conversion of desert to this type of city, which is called industrial city, is very much complicated, where you should have scheme and think of that. And it's one example. I have many examples. I'll try to share. It's and what we have to do, it will look very easy because it is view only. It's not detail. There will be many thousand details. There will be many thousand details pertinent this photo. And when we club, when we go to those documents, we'll find what is to be done. In fact, it is easy one. It is easy one. That is contract. Now what we have to do, point is that. What we have to do, that's our point. And our point is very clear. I am just able to talk to you about this not because of that very high level of education or I am a professor. No, it's not that. It's only learning from experience. Wherever you do some work, you join for a few months or few years. I have worked very briefly on such projects. It doesn't mean I know everything, but I try to share this information with you people so that you must have questions to answers. We say we have to produce one unit. This unit, maybe we have land, we don't have land, it also depends. That is definite issue. But scheme is there, policy is there that we have to promote this project. And I am interested in that, say, because one project shall give life to many students and shall become literally work also nowadays. Difference, between two is same. Here design plus construction are important. Designs and constructions both are important in this case. Otherwise there shall be a problem. Here, this project requires a person who can design and who can move further. Construct it. Decision by employer, decision by promoter about this issue. And once it is decided how to move on, it becomes normal processes. It's normal procedure. How to design, how to move, how to function, how to control, and how to take over from that prospective contractor who is EPC status and accountable to honor and to public. Well, I think there's no major difference. In fact, there's no major difference. Policy is that you are given this land, you are given backup, information backup that we have, and you have to take care of designs, take care of implementation of designs, and receive crops, for example, receive something else, for example, or funding, for example. You can do it yourself if this functions well. If this project functions well, it's not difficult at all. I don't think it's very difficult. Just we can say I'll put off this now because it's not unnecessary occupying space, so I put it off. I think I should put it off here. Let me go to facilities one so that we later on recover it. This thing, please. So I have done that, and I remove this. I remove this also. Alright, now we'll be talking scope 1. I worked in this project and we tried to explain a lot in this. Let me read it again better for you people, because history is also important in many cases to understand something. It's very important, history. Why it is? Why? Why am I talking about this? Why I'm talking about this? I I had some time in my career. I was related to such projects during my journey of GCC, job journey, employment journey. I want to reflect something on this issue, description about industrial green projects, which says I had an opportunity to work for many years on some petroleum related projects. During my job career in GCC, which attained experiences, supported me to contemplate few points drawn from such projects. Drawn means knowledge drawn. And prior to including this, it says, we to reflect something, we to reflect certain basic description about industrial green projects. Now what happens? I want to understand this. I want to understand this project. That is, prior to including basic scope contents, prefer to reflect some basic design description about industrial green projects that may be supportive to understand for these. These descriptions have been drawn from those projects which do not have any relation to other projects. Okay. Therefore, 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 dealing with writing context of specific projects only involved processing trains related to plant facilities, engineering technologies should be included based on company design right product patent. No. Such quality objectives, such quality objectives, scope is required to be written by company only. Company means an organization which remains responsible for this product entirely. It has patent of that in each and every respect. It should produce feed, it should produce design, detailing, it should do execution of that, execution, supervise, approve works, and finally commission plant based on performance results. On such major project, company is designated as a prime representative of state, or generally such organizations are state owned or could be in status of PPP, public-private partnership, but rarely it is so. Company awards design and execution works to certain prime contracting organization on scope status EPC. Prime contractor further sublets civil works, electromechanical, security, CCTV, SCADA, and various other disciplines to approved subcontractors who would execute respective disciplines in conformance to company and prime contractors' requirements. Company heads company head acts as engineers to be contractually responsible in all respects. Example for such companies being QP, Qatar Petroleum, Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation, ADNOC, Aramco, and various more. There is no depth on that. Oh, what's co-packing? An industrial development processing facility formation. What do you have to think on this? That's the point here. What do you think on that? What we have to see in this is very important now. In economy, interest of every nation is called economy and every nation has economy. For every national economy, it's very important to promote projects, and that is for every country. If you don't do that, country cannot progress. That's also a point of concern, point of interest. We may say it is necessary in interest of economical development. It is necessary in interest of economical development that an industrial project should be efficiently promoted, for industry being backbone of a nation, and without industry we cannot do anything, because industry means production, industry means processing, industry means producing something and selling it or using it. So you can say industry is based on engineering and engineering is based on industry. Both are there. Industry has no limit. We're talking here high profile industries where infrastructure is required, everything is required. Therefore it's necessary in interest of economical development that an industrial project should be efficiently promoted, for industry being backbone of a nation, which keeps nation moving forward, improving quality of life of its subjects. And sooner industry is created, it will better, it will better prospect for economy of that nation. Value engineering should efficiently be applied to products. Goods proposed to be facilitated to enable consumer be delivered with avail most economic and quality products. When we talk of industry, when we talk of industry development, we target to achieve potential industries for long. Potential industries for long. Can say when we talk of industrial development, we target to achieve potential industries for long-term production of intended products that may cost in billions of your currency. Its concept, front-end design, execution would all certainly quantify to considerable quality, cost and time in each and every respect, and also other parameters which we can use for comparison and for observation of giving values. All types of major industries require development in line to meet public or economy requirement of class of industries should be promoted. What class of industry should be promoted for modernization depends on various relevant criteria as well as development value engineering. What class of industry should be promoted? What class of industry should be promoted for modernization depends on various relevant criteria as well as development value engineering. Oil and gas, we can say oil and gas, that's very first requirement currently. Then we have power because oil or gas or some other raw material is required for power production, for steel production, aluminium or else, or water resources industry. You know what is water resources industry, no explanation. Nuclear energy and whatever else infrastructure you have or do you have can have do require promotion, not only for an exclusive sake of commercial business but also for sake of social, economical development and sustainability. We have to understand these points very well. What do we want? We want industrialization. That's true, because without industrialization, we cannot move forward. We are not living ancient life. We are living different life, where facilities are important, livings, living condition important, sustainability is very important, and all this requires certain infrastructural backup. It's not only commerce that we need. Commerce is one part. We require to stay safe. We require to stay safe and healthy around world. So it can give us input of many other requirements as well. Now it is requirement of pollution free world. But it's not going to happen soon. We only call, we only cry, but we don't do. So we can say currently it's multifunctional, multi can say impurity and multi-purity, both are there. So there are various classes of industries all over the world, and these are promoted all times, pleasantly or unpleasantly, willingly or unwillingly, cannot be, you can say, avoided. This requirement cannot be avoided. It may be social viewpoint consideration, economical consideration, development consideration, or it may be sustainability. Sustainability which we have today, it was not before 50 years. It was different. What we have today, it may not stay there after 50 years. Keeps on changing, keeps on exploiting earth. Earth wealth we exploit for ourselves, and that's where we fall behind. We fall below, but it is a requirement. We cannot survive, we cannot work, we cannot move, because industrial development is a requirement, and industrial development is a requirement all over the world. Now world is one. Of course there may be 200 nations, but actually it's only one nation, virtually, not practically. Now I say sustainability is very important to understand from different viewpoint, not from annex viewpoint. That must be maintained if we are living today with our, you can say, with good or bad both, which gives certain merits and some merits those. Exploited something, abused something, and we are facing difficulties. Same way we use something and we are getting benefit of that. So I say sustainability, you know very well. So now what I've done is here. Let me try to include various procedures or steps in common that are required to promote onshore downstream petrochemicals facilities, which is meant for meeting national and international requirements, byproducts extracted out of natural products. It should be kept in view. The promotion of certain potential industrial unit is a job which which must be based on thorough feasibility studies. Again, signals are down. I fear, which must be based on thorough feasibility studies and research, operational research relevant to long many years consideration. Since promotion of such development affects to some extent utilization of natural resources available within earth store, that should not be blindly explored, but a balance must be maintained for future generation to come. Therefore, adopted decisions must be based on certain criteria, that available resources may not be exhausted at fast pace by current generation to affirmatively maintain sustainability. Explorations must not be solely designed or destined to just making money out of natural resources. Important aspect of policy decision. What is policy? What is policy? Policy of a nation, policy of world, policy of group of nations, regional policies, national policies, international policies, health policies, economical policies, pollution policy. There is no end to that. No one is absolutely free. Every nation has to be in coordination with others, region wise or otherwise. Authorization, technology promotion, those decisions impact on such projects. Whether this project is to go or this project has not to go. Both points will stand. Whoever government is involved, whoever should promptly work out relevant policy in a positive manner, for time is extremely important. Those who do not care for time, time does not care for them. That is proven principle. Time does not wait for anyone. It does not care for everyone. Time moves on its own and doesn't need anything to eat until you don't give. Until you don't give. This was says government should promptly work out. Government should promptly work out relevant policy in positive manner. For time is extremely important. That should be used properly to get optimum use of project provided during time is very important. So what says adequate funds are available, we have to do it within allocation of budget or institutional financial borrowing should be made is very important start. Is value engineering. Value engineering should be properly studied, and value engineering should be properly studied by experts to reach a conclusion that proposed product is supportive one for its future. What it shall do, that what are those? Shall be processed. This product shall be processed, impairing no adverse impact. Right? I was touching my legs. This shall be processed. This product shall be processed, imparting no adverse impact to existing environment. That is number one. It's very significant. In fact, you can say it will be most economical in production cost. Cost is always important. Production cost or processing cost or whatever cost we can name it, shall be most economical. What is meaning of most economical here is another one also. It's not simply sale price, but its effective price a consumer has to pay for better or for best benefit. This means it should be pro customer requirement, not forced requirement. It shall be easy to be transported to consumer market or end user facility. Means its conveyance, its transportation should not be heavily burdened. It should be most beneficial to national society from every aspect, view of cost and economy uplift as well. Very important point, because it simply says it should be customer oriented, it should be public oriented from every aspect, not from one aspect, from every aspect. Whatever we consider shall be most beneficial to national society. Also, you can say others from every aspect, view of cost and economy uplift as well. This should be based on its roots based on green technology and provide benefits to all people located globally in long run. Means this should not be short term projects. This should not be just current use, but it should help all around globe. That's important point. Shall promote use of green technology and provide benefits to all people located globally in long run. We can see then, if you go further, we can say work of same organization we are talking of, because that organization has to start with initial charter if in case it comes in. That is only way to understand. This charter is like measuring tool to that tool we are unable to realize facts at every initial stage of conception, at every initial stage of conception for a permanent reference, including various information such as aim. What is aim? Aim may be country aim may be industry, or aim may be something you want to give to people. You can say aim, target. Aim and target are linked. What is target? You have to understand. We have target, we have policy, we have political impact on that area, and nation. Then rehabilitation of various classes of people, possibly because of project. So rehabilitation and other bad effects, requirement of additional infrastructures for those people who are being affected, additional infrastructures, generation of employment, opportunities in both stages of promotion of project as well as its operation and maintenance. You can say generation of employment, bad effects are there. You can say requirement of additional infrastructure, generation of employment, and opportunities in both stages of promotion of project as well as its operations and maintenance, technology, stakeholders, current value, earned value in long run, value engineering, long run value, continuous benefits, expected risks of all sorts, whether or not otherwise alternative cost. You can stand. There's so many other points. I can say stakeholders, current value, long run value, continuous benefits, expected risks of all sorts, whether or not other alternative products could be promoted to achieve better value engineering. And you can see next one is the same continuation, but development means what? As we said already, sustainable development, which means state of an art technology, that has been developed, for application on projects. has been developed on the application of projects which technology does not go against existing requirements. Is the contravene to explain we can see here not sustainable development means a state of an art technology that has been developed for application on projects which technology does not go against existing requirements and neither impacts adversely on availability of natural resources when future generation may for sure require all such resources. That just means today we have something. Can we consume it today only? Or we want to keep some part of that for future, for those who will follow us. That is real meaning, means we cannot destroy material, we cannot destroy wealth, and we cannot destroy natural balance just for current time. Yes, we can abuse it to some extent, not to our way. So again I say sustainable development means state of an art technology that has been developed for application on projects which technology does not go against existing requirements and neither impacts what to to you know adversely on availability of natural resources when future generation may for this show all such resources. This means both current and future generations should enjoy availability of all natural resources as well as so what we can see. This means that both current and future generations should enjoy availability of all natural resources as well as friendship with green technology without compromising with positive effect of nature. Value engineering plays a significant role on addition of on well, both generations must be benefited by whatever technology we have. We cannot use it like we use the petroleum and whole generations were sitting on the state forever. They never got any success. We don't have this. We go to value engineering, which is very important part here. Value engineering plays a significant role To many extents, when used in technologies, promotion is a concern. There could be options as far as technologies are concerned, which options, based on considerable factors and various aspects, would decide which technological application shall deliver better results on proceeds or products in long term as well as in short term. It's very difficult. It's a professional understanding what we should do, what we should not do, and it's very difficult to go against professional demands. Cannot. Value engineering plays a significant role to many extents when use of technologies promotions is concerned. There could be options as far as technologies are concerned, which options, based on considerable factors and various aspects, would decide which technological application shall deliver better results in proceeds of product, in deliver better results as in short term. Short term facts could be consideration of land cost, design considerations, designs considerations. Short term facts could be land cost, design consideration, construction cost, producer environment, product environment, you can say product environment, friendly impacts, transportation cost, availability of experts and artisans, etc. While long-term considerations would be maintenance cost, life of projects, maintenance cost, life of project involved, public risks involved, future availability of alternate, easy and economical technologies that be currently under research stage. Value engineering is very significant term. It's very important term because it adds value to existing system, existing product. It doesn't mean price rise, no. Value engineering based effective application, effective technology, product land user requirement, necessity, approval and financing, international competition, cost effectiveness, safety, health and environment, tenability, sustainability. Should these points be met by proposal, project may be given a clearance or a go ahead subject to meeting other regional requirements. One value, you can say financial, international competition, cost effectiveness, safety, health and environment, tenability and sustainability. And then should this point be met by proposal, project may be given a go ahead, subject to meeting other engineering criteria. Should this can say once value engineering factor has been included into plan consideration with full integrity, and incorporation of provisions in line with national and international policy for such evolutionary developments, there remains no meaning to delay projects, but project initiation by charter, authorization by respective stakeholders should be done. Finance. Finances have to be allocated. The finances have to be allocated to statutory requirements to give a go ahead to various phases or stages of project development, so that delivery be made in a defined time. Finances have to be allocated to statutory requirements to give a go ahead to various phases or stages of development, project development, so that delivery time or delivery made in defined time for follow-up operations for consumer or end user. Since facilities incorporation, facilities demand incorporation of inputs, incorporation of inputs from various disciplines, personnel, materials, and equipped with licensed technology, even every criteria must be kept in consideration. Personal material, you can say. Again, I say, since facilities demand incorporation of inputs from various disciplines, personal material, equipment with licensed technology. So what is this? Since facilities demand incorporation of inputs from various disciplines, personal materials and equipment with licensed technology, Every criteria must be kept in consideration for final start. Facilities justification feasibility. Environment, environmental sustainability, cost viability in long term, nationally beneficial to add to economic growth, multi-purpose approach, and creation of employment, casual as well as back with that. Few minutes, I'll be back. नहीं, कोई बारिश वारिश नहीं है, कोई बारिश नहीं। Export potential of product. Export potential of product, processing technology and availability of raw and natural resource materials, adequacy of availability of terrain and routes, selection of planning and execution mode, availability of expertise and experts along with all other interrelated professionals, availability of all human and all other resources, their original sources, international agreements for bilateral trades with producing nation, finalization of design rights, copyrights, process technology license, agreement on various contract forms, adoption, agreements on international workforce migration for project, private partnership or participation, or government responsibility or international joint ventures, availability of relevant trade zones based on subsidy for industrial promotion in general, public interest for long run, long term construction and operations, certainly certainty of return, certainty of return by reliable proceeds after a defined set of years, or an assessed duration after which investment is made, an asset for elements of certain processing facility, inclusions in general. But before that, we have to contemplate on basics, basics of requirements. Components are many, shall be many and different on every project. But project theology, project original concept, project basic requirement, project necessity, project involvement in social development, project involvement in economical development, project involvement in professional development, project involvement in the, you can say, sustainability or whatever we have discussed so far, all have certain significance, and those significance we have to consider for a couple of decades to come. It's not for 1 day or 2, it's not for 1 month or 2, it's not for 1 year or 2, it's for long run. Originally we consider few days, decades, say 3 or 4, but this may come depending on continuation of technology or restructuring according to new arrivals. Industry is not unitary based, it's not one sorry, it's not for one person, it's not for one group, it's for nation. In fact, it's for whole world because it is technology. Technology is innovated, it's framed, it's applied, it's observed, it's researched, then further research and then further research, and you get something new. It's a long process. Technological evolution is long process. Technological development is also long process because of these facilities plants. And likewise, we can say how many percent benefit we get cannot be evaluated like that because technology means Another technology development also, which is bad one possibly, namely you can say because of fossil fuels technology, refining units, all that using crude oil, we got bad products like plastics and like many other gases that we pass through our flare and dispose into environment, and which of course we think we have disposed it. We think our way, but we have polluted air, we have polluted our air of power, and we have in fact destroyed our own forever agency material, that's air. And we can say we killed ourselves, we helped suicide ourselves. That's what meaning of pollution here. It's a suicidal, long-term suicidal, by own people, by own technology, by own research, or you can say it's a kind of indirect devil work, you can say. it's, it's a devil work. We are devil of our own, to kill our own. Now we're suffering because we're not able to provide sustainable environment to our generations. Though I've been crying, like Europe, either parts of the world cry, how dare you? You're not caring for carbon dioxide. You're caring this. You're talking something in economical terms, and you're talking something in breathing terms, in health terms. Well, that's right observation as well as a practical one, that I had to care about public, I had to care about society, and to care about health. It can be called sustainable. Oils, you can say, it doesn't weigh. It cannot weigh. How can it? You know, important part. One part economy we can say, because industry is long-term project. It's long. Is such projects are long living? Such projects are long performing. Such projects are in long term basis economy, and also relates to health, safety, relates to development, and many complications are also created. So such, you can say, multidiscipline involved analysis, analytical activities should be conducted. I'm not saying we use certain formula, certain calculation to you reach certain prorata. No, that's not my viewpoint. It is different. We have to consider facts. First requirement in life is safety and health and environment. That is first requirement. Second requirement, of course, is parallel one. You can say first in parallel is quality, quality thinking, quality decision making, whether this industry is required or it's not required. That should base on all disciplines consideration, not alone on economic basis. Economic basis is a first requirement, but safety is also a first requirement. Employment is a requirement, but environmental pollution is also a question. Good environment is also a requirement. This means we have been unable to think in past. We as world people have been lagging behind, or have had lagged behind real line of thinking. Probably we had, but because of greed, because of avarice, because of hunger, of money, we ignored that. Oh, oh, oh. How can someone believe that in 1930s or 1935 world did not know that this fossil fuel exploration or petroleum crude oil exploration would adversely impact air pollution. It impact air to transform it to polluted air. You think they did not know? They knew it. Science existed that time as well. Engineering existed that time as well. But hunger of greed and avaricious nature did not allow them to talk of that in those non-communication era, non-coordination era, when communication was time consuming. And people of world did not know about anything. Of course, it led to development. Nevertheless, it led to de-development also. It led to coercion. It led to deterioration of natural life. It led to detrimental health state today we have. You can say, if you compare both merits and demerits of this development, we shall find, okay, you got development, you got money, you got vehicles, you traveled, you got flights, but how many years can you use them? You cannot use them, I think, more than 10 years now, more. So you can say 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, you enjoyed that power of fuel. You enjoyed development at what cost? At deterioration of whole world. Air is overloaded with these pollutants which cannot be extracted. Air is overloaded with all these bad elements we cannot help. Economy wise you can consider, but otherwise you can also consider. If you cannot live healthy, you cannot have good health, what is purpose of such development? You developed body comfort, you did not develop mind comfort, you did not develop survival comfort, you did not develop sustainability comfort. I'm not saying you have to criticize every issue, but what should be kept in mind was not kept. Still today, same rush works. Despite knowing pollution power, adverse power, despite knowing environmental issues, despite knowing health issues, safety issues, whole world has been moving into further direction that would take all to additional deterioration, additional pollution. We have to consider this fact in reality. We have to consider this fact in reality. What we are considering is not that world. We are considering different world. That's what I'm talking something apart from components of this AnnexSL EPC. This is something which must be considered before that. See, we are human beings. We have right to live, not to right. We have no right to destroy ourselves. Yes, there are people in some parts or in all parts of world, particularly those on political level, they don't want to think anything. Fact remains. People at kingdom level, people at presidential level, people at top political level, they never can think. That's also true. Their only thinking is survival in their positions, even at cost of if people loosen their lives. That has been proven. That has been proven. If someone is responsible to destroy this earth, this is political class of all our world. Previously used to say our country, that country, this country. Now that situation has gone because whole world is virtually communicative. Whole world is linked with web, with internet. Information reaches us if we talk together. You get my point? When we talk together, we talk to each other, we discuss with each other. Now, internet is used for every purpose, and of course, speed of communication has enhanced multifold. But it has been devalued as well because we don't have those skills we should have. Writing skill, speaking skill, analytical skill. People don't care about analysis, particularly this class of people, political people. They know if they allow analysis or accept analytical results, it will impact on them itself, not on public. Public is innocent everywhere. They want to live peacefully. They want to have food, shelter, clothes. That's what public requires. Of course, public requires good health. Public requires good food. But public does not require palaces like these political figures have. Every person doesn't require very expensive cars. But these people cannot live without that. We have to consider such analytics first. Why should we behind economy when I have to survive only? I have to depend on food and clothes. Then why should I worry about palaces? I know I cannot get them. But these people think this is their birthright. These people, they are out of their positions all over what I'm talking. All over the world. These political people, these political persons, they cannot get job according to qualifications and experiences these persons have. I'll be happy with small job, but they will not be happy with job. Small job, first of all, they won't get it. And second, even if they get it, these people get that job, these individual gets that job, they cannot even work on that. So we have to talk about reality. And reality is, because of their own survival, they mislead people. They mislead democracies. They mislead the public to maximum extent. These people are born liars. This class can kill people. this class just to survive in certain positions can go to whatever extent. I am talking this not because of politics but because of economy. Economy is good to some extent, but economy can destroy also if it is misused or abused. We have to keep that point. Middle class society is very much impacted upon adversely by every time considering economy, economy, economy. Economy alone cannot help world.